that most of your decisions were never really yours, that the people you trust, the choices you make, even the moments you say yes or no, were quietly influenced without force, without threats, without you ever noticing. No hypnosis, no magic, no supernatural power, just psychology. The same psychology used by world leaders, elite negotiators, manipulators, and billion-dollar brands to shape human behavior at scale today. I'm going to expose those dark psychological tools, not to turn you into a villain, but to make you aware of the invisible game being played around you every single day. One warning before we begin, this video is for educational purposes only, because once you understand this, you won't see people, conversations, or decisions the same way again. Let's begin. The secret you were never taught. Imagine if you had a hidden power, the ability to read anyone's mind, to understand their emotions before they speak, to predict their decisions before they make them. Your boss, your friend, a stranger, even your crush, everyone responding to you without realizing why. This isn't fantasy. This is psychology, pure psychology. Humans like to believe they're logical, independent thinkers, but the truth is uncomfortable. Most people don't decide, they react. And the ones who understand human psychology don't control people directly. They control the environment in which decisions are made. That's the real power. Trick number 5, the revenge trap, reverse psychology. Here's a simple truth about the human mind. We want what we're told we can't have. Tell someone not to touch something and suddenly, that's the only thing they want to touch. Tell someone not to look and their neck turns. Automatically, this is called psychological reactance. When our freedom feels threatened, our brain rebels, and this is where the revenge trap works. Let me show you. If someone says, don't watch this video, a part of your brain immediately thinks, why? What's in it? You click. That's the reverse trap. You never told them what to do. You simply triggered their impulse to prove autonomy. Now imagine using this in real life. You want a friend to help you with something. If you say directly, bro, do this for me, they might delay, avoid it, or say no. But instead you say, there was something I needed, but forget it. It's complicated. I don't think you'd want to deal with it. Their ego gets activated. Suddenly, it's not about helping you. It's about proving themselves. I can do it. You didn't push. You didn't ask. You withdrew. And they walk straight into the trap. This technique is powerful and dangerous, because most people never realize that the decision they made was planted. Control the impulse and you control the game. Trick number 4, master of choice. Here's another illusion humans live with. I make my own choices. No, you choose from what's presented to you. The real power doesn't lie in forcing people. It lies in designing their options. This is called choice architecture. Let's break it down. You want your friend to go out with you. If you ask directly, do you want to go out? They can simply say no. But if you ask, Pizza Hut or Domino's, now look at what happened. You didn't ask if they want to go out. You assume they already decided to go. Their brain skips the refusal stage and jumps straight to selection. They feel in control, but the outcome was decided before the question was asked. This is how politicians win elections, how brands sell products, how marketers influence millions. Buy one, get one free. Buy 2 and get 50% off. You think you chose the better deal, but the system was designed so that buying was the only real option. Here's the truth. People don't want total freedom. They want controlled freedom where their ego feels safe. If you control the options, you control the decision. Trick number 3, the guilt trap. Force creates resistance. Guilt creates compliance. That's why guilt is one of the most powerful emotional levers in human psychology. Let me explain. Imagine a friend who keeps promising to meet you but always cancels. If you confront them aggressively, you never make time for me, they get defensive. Walls go up. But if you say calmly, I understand, if I were important, you probably would have found the time. Silence. Now their mind starts working against them. They replay moments. They feel responsible. They feel guilty. And guilt doesn't need commands. It makes people act on their own. They message you. They explain. They apologize. You didn't force anything. You didn't demand anything. You simply held up an emotional mirror. When people see themselves as the villain, they rush to fix it. That's the guilty trap. Trick number 2, emotional hijacking. Here is something schools never teach. Humans don't make decisions logically. They justify them logically after making them emotionally. Emotion comes first, reason comes later. This is why emotional hijacking works. An emotional hijack happens when someone is under the influence of fear, love, anger, pride, or guilt and makes decisions in that emotional state. Politicians don't win votes with facts. They win with feelings. Fear of the future, anger at the present, pride in identity. Once emotions take over, logic shuts down. In that emotional second, people make decisions they regret later. But by then, the outcome is locked. If you want to influence minds, don't argue with logic. Speak to emotion, because people won't remember what you explained. They'll remember how you made them feel. Trick number 1, the power of silence. The most underestimated weapon in psychology is silence. Think about this. You make a mistake. Your mother yells at you loud, emotional, intense. But when your father looks at you and says nothing, that silence is heavier than shouting. Why? Because silence forces the mind to fill the gap. And the human mind is crueler than any words. People think power belongs to the loudest voice. In reality, power belongs to the calmest presence. When you stay silent, the other person becomes uncomfortable. Their anxiety increases. Their mind starts doubting itself. Silence shifts control. How do you use it? If you want the truth, don't interrogate. Say, I know everything, and stop talking. Let their mind do the damage. If you're in an argument, don't raise your voice. Hold eye contact. Smile slightly. Say nothing. Their words start sounding weaker to themselves. Silence amplifies your presence. When everyone talks, stay quiet. When you want authority, say less. Final message: these tools are powerful, and power without awareness is dangerous. That's why this knowledge matters, not to manipulate blindly, but to understand the invisible forces shaping your life. When you see the game, you stop being a pawn. And if this video helped you, gave you clarity, awareness, or a new way of seeing the world, make sure to subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Now it's time for action. Using these principles, you can take a 7-day challenge to build a stronger, or aware version of yourself.